Hi, here's a quick tutorial on how to arrive at your answer. There is a shortcut, but I wanted to give you the long way so that you will know the behind the scenes action that takes place, how to arrive at your answer. So here we go. Okay, so it says that Maria needs to make 18 dozen muffins for a party, but I changed it to 8 dozen because I don't want to give you the answer, but I want you to try to figure it out for yourself, but I want to help you to get there. So here we go. So Maria needs to make 8 dozen muffins for a party. Her recipe for 2 dozen muffins calls for 4 cups of flour. So how much flour does she need to make 8 dozen? So we're going to write down what we know already. Okay, so her recipe for 2 dozen, we're going to write that down, calls for 4 cups of flour. Okay, so this is what we know already. 4 cups of flour. But she needs to make 8 dozen. Okay, so we're going to write down the 8 dozen. But we don't know how much that's going to be, right? So we're going to put an X. Okay. So here we go. What's the X? How do we figure that out? Okay, so here's what we have to do. We have to get these numbers at the bottom to the top. Okay, so these are 2 fractions. And how we do that is we have to multiply each side by these numbers. And then we can cancel them out. Okay, so we're going to multiply each side by an X. Okay, and then that crosses out. And then we multiply each side by a 4. And then that crosses out. Whoops, I accidentally crossed that out. The X on this doesn't cross out. Sorry about that. Okay, so what we have left here, now that the numbers always go before the X, so what we have left here is a 2X equals, and we can go ahead and multiply these together. 8 times 4, you can use a calculator if you would like, is 32. Okay, and then we have to simplify this. So to get rid of the 2 here, we need to divide that by both sides. So what we do to one side of the equal sign, we have to do to the other side. So we're going to divide both sides by 2. And then we have X equals, again, you can use your calculator. I know in my head that half of 32 is 16. Okay, so we have X equals 16. So if we come back up here, we can see if we want to do a quick and dirty way, we could ask ourselves, how many times does 2 go into 8? And you could say, oh, it goes in 4 times. And then you could say 4 times 4 is 16. And there's our answer. Okay, so that would be a shortcut without having to write it down and do this kind of math. That would be your shortcut. Okay, so if you wanted to erase my little scratching out of your 1 and change this back to an 18, you could say, how many times does 2 go into 18? Okay, mental math. Get your number. Okay, or you can use your calculator, 18 divided by 2. And then you could say, okay, I have my number. I'm going to multiply that number now times 4, and then you'll have your number of cups of flour. Okay, but I did want you to see the math here that goes the right way to do it. Okay, doing your fractions. Okay, that's it. Good luck.